What's up everyone, John Yevis from Unbox. We're here right now in Paris, France for the launch of Huawei's flagship smartphone, the P20 Pro. We've seen plenty of leaks about Huawei's triple camera monster, and today we'll finally be able to test drive the Chinese company's latest flagship. And before we dive into the cameras, let's take a look at the outside of the P20 Pro. The phone is made from a lovely combination of glass and metal with a curved rear and rounded corners. The phone feels hefty and solid to the touch and looks the part of a flagship phone from any angle. While the P20 Pro and the regular P20 look similar, aside from that obvious third camera module, the P20 Pro has an exclusive iridescent color option that's really something to behold. The phone's three cameras is tucked neatly on the upper left side of the phone, arranged vertically. The first camera is an 8-megapixel f2.4 telephoto Leica lens with a 3x optical zoom, while the second is a massive 40-megapixel color Leica sensor. The third module is a 20-megapixel f1.6 monochrome Leica sensor. Up front, you'll see the 6.1-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with a 19:9 aspect ratio and a notch that holds the front-facing camera and the other sensors. Down below, you'll see the fingerprint reader. While the display of the phone looks great, it's unclear why Huawei opted to go with a Full HD panel rather than QHD that's a standard for flagships nowadays. A bigger point of contention for us is the notch in the display. Companies usually utilize a notch on their phones to squeeze in as much screen real estate as possible into a device while retaining the requisite selfie camera and front sensors. That doesn't seem to be the case with the P20 Pro, and in fact, there's more than enough bezel space in the front of the phone to retain the fingerprint scanner. A better solution would have been to move the fingerprint scanner to the rear and simply place the sensors on the top bezel. Thankfully, you can actually turn off that notch in the phone settings so you get just a black bar at the top. So let's talk about those cameras. The P20 Pro has three in total: a primary 40-megapixel Leica shooter, a secondary 20-megapixel monochrome sensor, and a telephoto 8-megapixel lens that has a 3x optical zoom technology. The primary camera is the biggest we've seen in a phone in a while and harkens back to the days of the Nokia 808 PureView and the Lumia 1020. Thanks to software magic, the 40-megapixel shooter is able to work in tandem with the 8-megapixel 3x optical zoom camera and the monochrome sensor to deliver 5x hybrid zoom images. While the digital zoom won't ever be good as optical zoom, the 40-megapixel camera pushes enough pixels and data to deliver 5x zoom images that look like they were taken with 5x optical zoom lens. Just like the competition, Huawei's P20 Pro can also take super slow-mo video up to 960 frames, but only in HD. Huawei's claim of trying to replicate DSLR-like performance in a phone camera is rhetoric we've heard from other companies before, but they're the only ones that are actually close to backing up their claim with real-world performance. The camera sensor of the P20 Pro is the biggest we've seen on a smartphone before. Huawei pegs it at 1 by 1.7 inches, making it bigger than the one in the Galaxy S9 Plus. That's actually as big as the one in Pentax's Q7, the world's smallest interchangeable lens camera. The company has also made bigger strides in AI-assisted photography. Aside from being able to determine what exactly you're trying to shoot and adjusting camera settings to match, the phone's AI capabilities also allow it to use predictive shooting and AI stabilization when shooting at night, specifically with long exposures. Huawei claims that the P20 Pro can compensate for your hand movements when shooting in low light for exposures as long as 6 seconds, which means you no longer have to use a tripod when shooting at night. Huawei's large 24-megapixel front-facing camera also benefits from AI smarts and can also apply studio lighting effects to your selfies. As for the other specs, the P20 Pro is powered by the same chipset that made the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro tick last year. It has the company's Kirin 970 processor that has AI capabilities baked in, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage. Our Mate 10 Pro is still going strong and is still as fast as the day we took it out of the box, which speaks volumes about what you can expect from the P20 Pro once you continually use it as your daily driver. Despite being thinner than the S9 Plus, the P20 Pro also has a massive 4000 mAh battery. That, combined with the lower power draw of the Full HD OLED display and the supposed AR smarts that keep power consumption low, then you can see how far that 4000 mAh battery will last you. It's clear that Huawei is holding nothing back with the new phone. The P20 Pro is a stunning showcase of just how far we've come in mobile photography. Fast, powerful, and packing performance that rivals DSLRs, the Huawei P20 Pro might just fulfill its ambition of replacing the DSLR.